Vader falls from his castle, landing on the planet's surface as squads of his stormtroopers have been wiped out. They're prepared to fall back and evacuate, but Vader orders them not to. He begins to use the Force, bending the lava to his will as he throws it back at the Mustafarians and the lava flees. Igniting his saber, he leads his men into battle, demonstrating the power of the Empire. Leaders of Mustafarian clans watch from afar as Vader is slaughtering their people. He is, however, right where they want him. Possibly never having a better chance than they do right now, they summon the blood of Mustafar and manipulate the lava as it takes the shape of a tsunami. It wipes out the entire battlefield, leaving only Vader's castle emerging from it. The cost was severe, many of their own died, but it was necessary to destroy the being they knew as the Dark One. Underneath the lava, alarms are going off in Vader's suit as it overheats. Looking for a route to escape, he spots an AT-AT, which he climbs on top of and uses its solid surface to propel himself back to the surface. He lands on a lava bank, lying on his back, awfully similar to how Palpatine found him after his duel with Kenobi on this planet. This time, however, he gets up, still on fire, but quickly extinguished with the clenching of his fist. The Mustafarians watch on as he walks back to the focusing chamber underneath his castle. With his army gone, they believe there is nothing he can do to them now, so they attempt to destroy his castle. With Vader activating the focusing chamber, a huge surge of red energy once again encapsulates the castle, as the lava surrounding it roars to life once again, wiping out all the surrounding Mustafarians and lava flees. The immediate threat has been vanquished. A voice appears behind the Dark Lord. "Thank you, Vader, you have saved the castle. One of my finest works. I would have been displeased if it were destroyed by those insects. Truly, I am grateful." "Momin, I warned you of the consequences for betrayal." Lord Momin is not concerned with Vader's threats. He can see the battle-scarred condition he is currently in, whilst he has been newly born. They begin to duel as Momin taunts him, having seen into him and now knowing his story. They called you the Chosen One, and you believed it. You still believe it. You think the dark side serves you, obeys your every childish whim. Momin lands a shot on Vader's shoulder as he continues, "But if the greatest power in the galaxy is actually yours to control, why are you a stub of charred meat in a cape? Even more, if you had that power, wouldn't your wife be alive?" This remark pierces Vader like Momin's blade does his torso as the Dark Lord roars in pain. Momin believes they must serve the dark side, not the other way around like Vader, as he tries to control it. In Momin's eyes, Vader's life is the result of fighting the will of the dark side, as he cuts off Vader's right arm. The Dark Lord drops to his knees defenseless as Momin begins to enjoy his apparent victory. Vader buys himself some time, asking Lord Momin if he had lied about what lies beyond the door, seeing as he had opened it to retrieve his new body. Whilst Momin pities Vader and the demise of the Way of the Sith, calling him pathetic. With the Force, Vader has ripped one of the pillars out of the ground that formed the focusing chamber and used it to pin Momin against the cave wall. Momin taunts him, telling him he is not powerful enough to hold him. The dark side favours him and wants him to live. "If that is true, Momin, then you will." Momin screams in pain as Vader applies pressure to the pillar. In shock, Momin gasps, "But I am Lord Momin." Those are his last words, as the red eyes dim and his head quite literally pops off due to the force of the pillar crushing him. Vader returns to the focusing chamber, once again activating it as his castle comes to life. The door opens to him as he prepares to enter, saying, "My destiny is my own." Vader walks through the door as his spirit is separated from his physical form. He stands on the other side with a pure white colour forming his missing limbs, whilst a dark matter makes up the flesh that remains. The door closes. He looks ahead, where there is a building that resembles his castle on Mustafar, and at the very back is Padme, as he hears the words she confessed to him before they were led out to the Geonosis arena. Next, he hears the words that the Emperor would use in the future when urging his son to kill him. He begins to walk, and he sees his mother, accompanied with what she told Qui-Gon about there being no father. Unnatural. Palpatine appears to be manipulating the Force within Shmi. Remember, this is all from Vader's point of view. This doesn't mean Palpatine is his father. He goes back to that little boy on Tatooine as he trips over sand. Stupid sand. Little Annie turns around to see his shadow forms that of a big, dark, cloaked figure. The very same as the epic Phantom Menace poster. That's not right. Vader leaps out from the shadow as he wakes up in his bed on Tatooine, screaming, "No!" His mother comes running in. "Don't be afraid, little Annie. Only a dream." Only now, it was no longer a dream. It had become his fate. He turns back into that little boy within this realm as he sees his childhood before him, pod racing, making C-3PO, meeting Padme. Then begins the transformation. From a little boy meeting the Chancellor and his future master, to being trained in the temple, to being Obi-Wan's apprentice and being taken out to the Geonosis arena, before marrying the woman of his dreams. In this last sequence, his right arm is pure white, due to Dooku having cut it off shortly before in their first encounter. Then, his apprentice, Ahsoka Tano, snips. He sees into their future encounter on Malachor. This is the foretelling of their future he mentions. It's interesting to note that she too is pure white, representing her non-existing affiliation to the dark side. Obi-Wan's words in the future to Luke after Yoda's death come into Vader's vision, when the dark building changes into a pure white Jedi temple, as he hears the words, "Depend on your point of view." He enters the temple, where many Jedi stand, ready to confront him. Vader draws 2 sabers and springs into action. He slaughters them all, including beheading Mace Windu, possibly a reference to Jango Fett's fate at the hands of the Jedi Master. "Let the past die. Kill it if you have to." The words that his grandson would say many years later are appearing to Vader as the battle comes to a close. There are a set of stairs leading up, and at the very top stand Obi-Wan and Chancellor Palpatine.
"I am your father,"
rings out to Vader as his current and former master begin to duel. These are the 2 men he has seen as a father figure throughout his life. Palpatine ends up destroying Obi-Wan, before attempting to stop Vader from reuniting with Padme. Darth Vader conjures his own Force lightning and obliterates the last remaining obstacle. Padme. His wife is standing on the balcony with her back turned to him. Vader is no longer a spirit, and he has returned to the form of Anakin Skywalker in her presence. "I'm here. Take my hand. Come with me. I can save you. I can save us both." Padme turns around and begins to recite the first words he said to her as that little boy on Tatooine. Anakin pleads with her, "Please, we have to go." "Why? I don't know you." Her eyes take on the form of the Sith. "Anakin Skywalker is dead!" She throws herself off the balcony to Anakin's shock. "Not again, I won't let you go." As his eyes return to their Sith color, lightning begins to emanate from Padme's eyes as she falls before it destroys her. "No!" Anakin has lost her again as he returns to his dark matter and pure white spirit appearance. He continues to scream, "No!" and the balcony feels the force of his emotions. He stares off into the distance in despair when a hopeful, beaming blue light appears. Out of it walks a boy with blonde hair and a blue lightsaber, and the power of his light sends Vader flying back through the door, reuniting him with his physical body. Sighing as he sits up, Vader calls for his saber, igniting it and plunging it through the heart of the focusing chamber. The dark side energy bursts out of it, causing a ripple effect up his castle. Lord Vader makes contact with the Emperor back on Coruscant, who had been wondering how long he would take. He can see Vader's battle-scarred form, assuming his search for knowledge on Mustafar had been challenging. After a considerable time spent on the planet, his master wanted to know if the truth he had learned was it what he needed. Vader shuts off the communication as he says, "Yes," into the distance. He has been cemented further than ever in the dark side, accepting that he has lost Padme forever and that this is his life now. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This is probably my favourite arc from the first 2 series of Darth Vader comics I've read so far. I've just received the Revenge of the Sith novel, so I can't wait to get stuck into that and create some content with it. Until next time, may the Force be with you, always.